Welcome back to another Overwatch Coach VOD review. Today we're going to be VOD reviewing a Moira player who is in Silver 2, Silver 2 support, looking for some advice on how to change my gameplay. In this replay I'm playing Moira. I think I could have done more damage instead of constantly healing my team, but I'm looking to see an outsider's perspective on what I should be doing. Okay, so let's see. This is our Moira. So looking at this team comp, the biggest issue I see here is actually going to be damage. You know, you've got two projectile heroes for your DPS, and then you've got Ryan. Ryan, unless he's like one of those super aggressive Reinhardts, typically doesn't output a ton of damage. And then to compound that, you've got Mercy. There's like nothing obvious to Mercy pocket here. I mean, she'll probably... I actually don't really know why she's Mercy, like what you would pocket here. I guess, I mean, you have to pocket the Junkrat, right? Because, I mean, like when Venture goes underground, she can't be followed by Mercy. And there's no reason to keep a damage thing going on Ryan unless he's like actively engaged. So it's going to be Junkrat. Or you, I suppose. Moira, maybe. But Mercy feels like the odd hero out here. In this situation, you definitely are going to want to be doing a lot more damage. I'm not saying don't heal at all, but definitely be looking for your opportunities to poke in this team comp. Looking at what you're up against, you're definitely going to want to be focused on their DPS. Echo and Genji. I mean, Moira is I'd call her a soft counter to Genji, but you can definitely make Genji's life difficult. You can kind of make Echo's life difficult, but Echo's probably going to have the pocket, so Genji's probably going to be the one to really be focused on the most. You can get some good damage off on the Orisa, because Orisa can't do anything to shield herself from you, but you know, pick your times for doing that. Don't just go at it, because you're not gonna whittle that armor down if you're doing it when she's at 100% health. So enough about talking team comp. Let's get into the game and see what we got.
Piece of cake.
Okay, so initially, I usually like starting out my fights going this way, like over in this vicinity over here. I like to try to keep them off of high ground, contest high ground, don't let them take high ground, that sort of a thing. If I'm playing... When I'm playing my DPS characters, I'm usually playing projectile. I'll either go that way that I suggest, or I'll take the other flank around this way. But I'm usually not starting out straight on the point, but your whole team's doing it. That'll probably just be something you'll learn to kind of focus a little bit more on the flanks as you start to climb.
Cover me.
A little too much healing going on here. No, I mean, the Rhine could use it, but everybody you're spraying is pretty much fine here. So the one thing I would say is, if your Rhine's gonna hide out in that little, like, I guess you call it like a gazebo, you could just bounce a healing orb in there, and it's gonna stay with him for the entire time that he stays in there, and then you don't have to worry about your spray. And then while that healing orb is bouncing around, you can look to right click and replenish your spray. So this is what I was talking about picking your times at going against Orisa. This ain't it. Because you've got Genji right next to you, I think. Or was that Echo? It was somebody. No, it was Genji. Yeah, you should be on the Genji. You'd probably kill him. Well, maybe not. The Mercy's right there, but you would definitely negate a lot of the healing he's getting, and then maybe the Venture can kill him. But Genji's definitely the target you should be on here, not the Orisa. Orisa, you're not doing anything to this Orisa at the moment, other than the only good thing you're getting from that is you're just replenishing your healing juices. But other than that, that's it. So when you're bouncing healing orbs, you got to pay more attention to the directory, have a little bit more foresight of where your team's going to go. Like if you've got a Venture over here and then you're over here, you're essentially frontlining the majority of the enemy team. So it's more about like projecting where everybody's going to start escaping to in this case. So more towards your tank. And then as soon as that healing orb gets out, I would just teleport out of here. So what I would probably do is, first of all, let's back up just a little bit. Okay, let's go. So in a case like this, what I'm doing is about right here, I'm bouncing the healing orb like this way. So then what it's going to do is it's going to bounce and then just kind of stay in this vicinity. Give or take. It might take an unlucky bounce, maybe hit like, I don't know. There's always some like weird little, you know, sections and walls that might make it bounce a little weird. But the point I'm trying to make is I'm doing my best to keep the healing orb sticking with the team and kind of keeping it in a vicinity of where my teammates are going to continue fighting at roughly. So like when you take it this way, you're shooting it just away from everybody and it's just going to bounce away and do nothing. So right here, heal orbit. Save your healing juices, save your resources, just throw the healing orb out, let the Mercy take care of the rest of it, and just move on.
My ultimate is ready. Join me. Let shadow consume you. What is it now? Receive my aid. Crusaders!
Adaptive circuits engaged. Venture.
Surrender.
What do we? Okay, yeah, this salt is fine. Get focus either on the Mercy or the Echo here though, because everybody's good now. Yeah, you're over healing here. Like it was fine initially because like your Rhine was half, and I think Venture. It was either Venture or Junker. I wasn't really paying attention too closely, but one of your DPS was kind of like at half too. So you healed both of them, which is fine. That's totally good. But then you just kept it on them when they were at full health. I'm sure you're getting some healing out of that because I'm sure like the enemy team didn't just stop shooting, but at the same token, you could have started putting the pressure more on them. So like Echo and Mercy looked like obvious targets to just start focusing a little bit more on. Plus the other thing to keep in mind is you do have a Mercy who's healing here. So it's like once you kind of catch up with some of the damage being output, start throwing that Moira ult on like the Mercy, make her fall back and retreat, make the Echo fall back and retreat. And then suddenly there won't be so much healing needed because all of a sudden now one or two of the people had to fall back and now they can't support their team or do damage to your team, that kind of a thing. So yeah, okay, I was gonna say heal orb, but the trajectory, like just bounce it off of here and just let it stay with the team because you're kind of like leading, like if the Rhine follows this healing orb, you're leading him out into areas to get hurt again. Okay, so focusing on Orisa right there is fine because that's gonna get your healing juices up a little bit. Same thing. Okay, so with that healing orb, in this case, now it's a situation where like, okay, your team's looking to engage and move forward again. So if you're going to throw the healing orb out here, kind of lead the Reinhardt to battle with it. And then you can focus on right clicking the Orisa. If the Echo gets a little closer, you can swap over to the Echo. As of right now, going on Orisa is fine because you need healing resources. So you're going to get that. But once the Echo gets closer, then maybe start focusing on Echo, assuming they don't fall back. But because you need to right click here, that's why I would say like lead the Rhine to battle with the healing orb. Yeah, like that. Yeah. At least I think like that. Where did it go? I don't like your healing orb just because it looks like the enemies. It's hard to... Oh, okay. Orisa ate it in her spin. Okay, yeah. Alright. Heal, heal, heal. Okay, good, good. You did about all you could there. So, okay, when you teleported there, you gotta know where the health packs are and which ones you can get to. You could have teleported straight to the Mega that's off to the right where the lane of traffic is. You could have just went over there, teleported to that, and then came back into the fight. So, right there, you were asking to get killed. They just didn't punish you, but they didn't notice you, right? And you were low. So why right-click there and try to draw attention to yourself? A better, higher-level game would have punished that.
I'm restored.
And then careful when you're coming out of teleports on the jump, because like that just hangs you up and it eats time that you could be a little closer to this fight here. Yep, good old. Gotta save your Rhine here. Okay, now let's start. Get on that Mercy or... Okay, I'll pull back. Yep, that's fine what you did there. Okay, good, you teleported out. Try to get on that Genji more. It's probably the biggest thing is you're not finding opportunities to right click the enemy Genji. Like right there, this is a good opportunity and you did it, good. But I feel like you need to look for some of these opportunities as opposed to them kind of presenting themselves to you. Because that one was like given to you. Like that one, he's just too far forward, right? Aside from that, I haven't really seen you go after this Genji too much. Okay, good, good. Yep, get on that Mercy, get on, good, good.
Moira.
Is inevitable.
The universe is singing to me!
Your end is within my reach. My ultimate is almost... My ultimate is ready. Join me.
So, like right here, I'm a little surprised, but I'm surprised your team doesn't like try to hold this choke right here. Instead of stand on the point. The reason I say that is because like if you just all stand on the point, you're giving them a lot of space to move up and pressure point. Whereas if you're holding a choke, it's going to be more difficult for them to touch, difficult for them to get a kill, gives you an opportunity to fall back if things go bad, that kind of a thing. So obviously I'm not suggesting you do that by yourself, but just a general positioning thing here. So you're playing too far back here. Like, I'm fine with you popping the ult to kind of keep your Sigma going, but you're getting a lot of non-value out of this ult too. Like, try to, let's see. Okay, so if I have that ult, I'm going to stay about right here, and I'm going to be healing the tank and doing damage to anybody that's around him. And then what I would like to see at this point is then the Mercy fall off of the tank, because obviously you're ulting, you're doing damage, and you're healing at the same time. And then she'll go to the DPS and worry about them so that you don't have to do that. And then I would just stay right in this vicinity and just push them all off of point while healing your tank at the same time. Instead, we get this. You see the difference of what would have happened, or what likely would have happened there? Get out. Yep. Heal orb, good, good. Get on Reaper. Oh, you could have killed Reaper, I bet.
My power emanates.
You're too focused on damaging the tank. I like the healing orb here, totally fine with that. Your target I mean, okay, in this case, your target priority is fine. This is the opportunities I was talking about going after Orisa as Moira. Something like this is totally fine.
Unfathomable prowess.
Okay. A little macro back.
Easily made manifest. I'm under attack. I must recharge. Hold on.
Yeah, look for little opportunities to get your damage in. Try to play your angles a little bit more here. Careful not to take those, though.
Your end is within my reach.
So, ping the Reaper there. Get your team's attention on certain things like that. Good, good. Go for it, yep.
Eyes open and
Heal orb, heal orb, heal orb.
recharge. Hold on. Surrender to my will.
Alt tracking, you gotta kind of keep in mind that Reaper's got his ultimate there. So you get tunnel visioned on trying to heal the tank who's like completely backed out. I like what you're doing right here. This is all good. But like right here, you got to be a little less tunnel visioned. And Mercy's already got a healing beam on him. So, what I would be more focused on here is let the Mercy try to save the tank. Otherwise, there is a Mega not that far from where the tank is. He could just go to retreat to. What I would be doing at this point is I would be backing out of there, looking to heal your Venture, because they have a Reaper like right on their ass. The other thing you could try to do is get on the Mercy, because obviously you're not going to kill the Reaper here, I don't think, because you've got both supports. But if you start shooting at the Mercy, you're actually going to be doing double damage to the Ana as well. That's probably your win condition in this situation. But not tunnel visioning the tank in this case. You're kind of tunnel visioning both tanks in this case. A little less priority on the tank in this scenario might have gone a long way, because had you have played off a bit, you might not be such an easy target for this Reaper to just press Q and then kill everybody.
Group up with me.
Fight team.
Misery made. Anybody asked for my help.
You're taking a lot of spears from Orisa. That shouldn't be happening when you've got a shield tank on your team. Be a little bit more cautious of that. So, ping Reaper there. Make sure Reaper's pinged. Yeah, see, your team is losing track of Reaper. And you are too, to some extent.
Seconds engage. Junkrat.
The enemy outnumbers us.
Uh-oh. They roll back.
Group up. A salve for all the nails. Reforming you. The fight is here. The barrier is gone. Barrier is nearly smashed. Such grievous wounds.
So the one thing I will say here is they are running Ana now, and I'm starting to notice people are getting anti-healed. So a Kiriko is probably going to be needed. Whether that be you or the Mercy, I mean, I would, in complete totality of utility of the supports being played, I would prefer the Mercy go Kiriko, but a lot of Mercy players only play Mercy, maybe Moira. You occasionally see them play like other heroes, but you typically see a Mercy player play Moira and Mercy. So like, I'll give you another little rule of thumb when I play games. If I get a Mercy on my team, I try to leave Moira available. That way the Mercy player doesn't feel locked into only playing Mercy. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of Mercy players only play those two heroes, and that's about it. I mean, you might occasionally see them play something else, but that's where their strength lies. So, if you go Kiriko, you might see the Mercy go Moira. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden now the Mercy swaps. Because you might be saying like, well, why do we have a Mercy on this team? Because it doesn't really fit with anybody that, you know, nobody really needs to be pocketed here. So just throwing that out there as a little Overwatch psychology that you gotta sometimes kind of play with your teammates. I don't know if you really needed to do that ultimate. I think you just panicked. You panicked because the Junkrat was low.
Preparing yourself, little maker. You cannot escape me.
Okay, good. We got the Kiriko. All right. They won Kiriko. Good.
The bag got a few tricks.
A taste of poison.
Moira Kiriko can definitely work here, I feel like.
Eyes open, man. Big Staggerlat.
Helden sterben nicht.
Get out. Okay, so here. You had 2 clues this was coming. They're both happening at the same time. When you see Reaper in his Wraith form, in his T position as I call him, and he's wraithing forward, especially at you, a support player, especially nanoed, there's only one thing that's going to happen. It's that. So you've got your teleport. It's right there. You needed to see that coming and get out of there. Because Sigma can counter that and eat it and get a bunch of HP. So it's really not your job here to worry about your Sigma, assuming Sigma is using his cooldowns correctly. Okay, good, good, good.
Route number.
So right here, the one thing I'll take issue with is you gotta have more foresight into where the Ana's gonna go. That damage orb is not gonna follow her. I'm not sure why you backed out there. I mean, were you really going to contest long enough? Probably not, but still, die on point. You know, just give your team as much of an opportunity to try to retake the point as possible there. Don't just back out to save your KD ratio. Nobody cares. Just die on point, you know. Keep the game going as long as you can. Again, it's a Hail Mary, hope and a prayer. I get it, but it's just the right thing to do there. You might have killed the Ana, and then maybe the Junkrat gets back and suddenly picks off the other support, and then all of a sudden your tank gets back, and suddenly there's a whole trickle battle that goes on, and who knows what happens from there. That's all I'm trying to say, is just give your team the opportunity to try to win the game. You know what I mean?
3, 2, 1.
This fight is all that remains.
Okay, so we got Mei now. We're still on Kiriko. So, take better positioning here. You came in with no plan. Like, okay, what I would have done is I either would have, depending on what the enemy team is doing, I either teleport into here, into this double door area, but behind it, or I walk back there. And it all just depends on, like, okay, do they have a Lucio? Did they beat us here? But, you know, we obviously want to try to take space, but also take it safely. But you stand out in the open. You're just out in the open. And then you start taking damage that doesn't need to be taken. Now, I don't know what Orissa's teammates are doing. They kind of left her hanging there, so she just backs off. But if the team is with Orissa there, you might be dead already. See, you're constantly taking these spears because you're not playing in cover. If you're playing like back into here, you see the Orisa coming, you can throw out a healing orb safely. When the Sigma backs off to you, you can spray. And then, like, if you get dove in here, you just teleport out, do your jump, and suddenly you're over cover and you're safe again. So that death you have right there, that's a positioning problem that you caused yourself.
Reforming you. I require assistance. I must recharge. Hold on.
I don't know what the point of that ice wall was.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Signal cleansed.
Good lord, good lord. Yeah, so same thing again. Honestly,
Eyes open now.
honestly, I think I'm probably looking to ult right here, like as the healing orb is coming out, because you've got low people over there. Well, you got one, and then you could probably take Echo out of Sigma ult. But like, this felt a little late. And then, I don't know, you kind of like walked into it.
What's that? Reverting personality?
Evolution is a painful path to walk.
There should have been a damage orb. You can't save that. Don't have a savior complex. I don't know what you're doing here. You're just feeding.
You will be renewed.
So yeah, when you came out, throw a damage orb, just poke a little bit, get some ult charge for yourself, and then just wait for your team to respawn.
The experiment.
Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of Junkrat initiating team fights with Tyre, but when they do that, one thing that I like to typically do is try to be aggressive, because when Tyre's coming out, everybody's going to kind of scramble and be like, where is it coming from? Can we shoot it? Do we have to run and hide? Like, what do we do? So use that as an opportunity to be aggressive and cause chaos, because the Junkrat Tyre is already, you know, living rent-free in their heads while that's happening. So try to be a little bit more aggressive there. Try to get on the Mercy if you can. Good kill. I was about to say, go back, retreat to your tank there. Either retreat to your tank or do a little bit better job of trying to be harder to hit. One or the other. So you know Orisa's coming up here because you saw her kind of head back in that direction. So what I would be doing is pinging. Okay, you're gonna taxi. That's not bad either. Poor execution. I know what you're trying to do. Not a bad idea, but poor execution.
Heroes never die.
This Reaper would be so easily telegraphed in a higher level game. It's just, you guys just got to be a little bit more ready for it. Okay, get on Reaper, get on Reaper. Get on Mercy, get on Mercy.
Circuits engaged. Signal.
Yeesh, this ultimate is doing nothing. Okay, good, you teleported out. Bad healing orb. Bad healing orb. If you keep that healing orb on Mei, you could have focused down the Mercy at that point. Yeah, you could have done so much more in this fight. Let's rehash a bit. Too far back. Okay, you're about to ult here, I think, right? Or wait, no. Wait, did I go? I don't think. Yeah, I went. Here.
What is that melody?
Okay, you're about to ult it. Yeah, alright, so first thing I do, heal your Mercy. Second thing I do, kill the Reaper. Third thing I do is Mercy's gonna come out to heal Reaper, and then you focus on Mercy. That's what I would do here. You keep it on a full HP. You actually have an over health Sigma that you start beaming down first.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
So you see how like you got absolutely no value out of this ultimate? Then you throw a healing orb that just ends up going in there and probably bouncing off into oblivion. Yeah, that healing orb did nothing. So, okay, you could bounce the healing orb just right here, and then it'll just stay. It'll just stay right in this choke, and it'll keep the Sigma able to touch, and it'll stay with him. So you've used your ultimate, you've used a healing orb, and we've gotten like little to no value out of it. That's a good kill, but now you gotta... Honestly, it's the Mercy that needs to die next here, but I could see going after Echo just to pressure her a bit, but that healing orb,
Careful, we're outnumbered.
where do you throw this? Okay, this is not where to throw it. Throw it right here. Because guess where this healing orb is gonna go? It's gonna go right there. And it's just gonna bounce between here and here. And look where your Mei is, right in between that. You could be between that too if you wanted to, but you don't necessarily have to because you're gonna get some healing from your right clicks because you won't have to worry about the Mei anymore, or at least hopefully not. But the Reaper is in a trap, so the Mei should be able to handle Reaper if he doesn't have cooldowns. So that's how to use your healing orb there. Yeah. So ultimately, I don't know if you win that fight doing all of that, but you certainly give your team a much higher percentage of winning that fight. So I'll say Orb T, that's for trajectory. Your orb trajectory needs a lot of work. 2, target priority. You focused on the tank quite a bit. Try to look at finding the Genjis, the Echoes, the Anas, the Mercies. You know, anybody you can actually start doing some damage to, force them to retreat, get a kill, that kind of a thing. I'm not saying don't hit the tank at all, but a little less focus on the tank and a little bit more on some of the other people. Try to get a pit, you know, that kind of a thing, force some pressure. And then 3, just I'd say your heal damage ratio. It felt like you were a little too heal heavy, just a little bit. I think if you would have had a little bit better target priority, you wouldn't have had to focus on healing so much. You would have been able to kind of put some of the pressure back on them as opposed to them putting it on you guys and then having to worry about healing it. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.